Well, hello there, everybody. I think it says that we're live. I'm not rightly sure. Let's see. Well, it says it, so I'm accepting it to be so, and just jamming out to a little bit of Mick and the boys. Got to do it. Sometimes you got to do it. Just got to dance. When it all seems like it's all doom and gloom, dance, baby, dance. And, if they say you can't dance, dance some more. I mean, that's just the way I see it. So, welcome everybody. Trying to see myself in both directions, and it's pretty weird. I mean, I can see myself in one direction and then seeing yourself. Yeah, I think that's the inverse reality of what we actually live in. But hey, I digress. Favor to everybody. Thank you, all the moderators and beautiful, beautiful people. Hello, Sarah Horton. How you doing? Angela, good to see you. Thank you for the kind words, everyone. Hey, Darth. Marty, good to see you all. Hello, Bernadette. Hello, David Castle. Heard you were out talking with the other beings. Far out. Hey, Bonnie, what's up? Ann, good to see you. And Posey and Claire. Robert V is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Good to see you, Robert. Going to get you on, buddy. David Barry, how you doing? Charlene, hello. Sean, how are you doing? Well, thank you. Hey, Blanca, what's happening? I have the maelstrom. So are y'all, excuse me, aware of this? Let me pull it up. And if it will allow me to pull it up, that's the other thing. All right, let's stop here. Let's see if we can go over here. Zoom has done something again. They're always screwing with stuff, All right. How many of you are aware that we got our first X-Class flare? Check it out. I'm going to show you this. Look over here at the 7 o'clock position. There she be. And we're going to look at that again. It was a big one, folks. I think they're saying X4. Yeah. So, and one other view, I want to take a look at this because if this is any indicator about what's awaiting us, we're going to need to really focus our energy because the sun's going to be sending it to us. Got this. This is off the SDO website. You just click the link and it'll bring you here. So check this out. This is in the X-ray. Check this out, folks. Building. You can see literally, you can just see the energy here. Watch it. And remember, this is the size of the Earth. Look at this thing. That's plasma, folks. That is just, that's millions of miles. Look at that. You can just see the ejecta that left. We're not going to get, we may get a small graze of this, but Jupiter and Saturn are going to take it in the shorts. But these are just incredible visuals. And yeah, so just add that to the list of things that we'll get to put on our list. But it is something, folks. Our sun is waking up, and that is not to be messed with. If it's going to hit us, and I'll tell you, as Ben Davidson has been saying, it's with the weakening magnetopause, with our magnetic poles on the move. And it's just started in solar cycle 25. So anyway, yeah, what a time to be alive, right? Favor to all of you, and happy birthday to those who are having one. There is a new channel, and I'll say this at the risk of the competition, brand new tube.com. Just check it out. No censorship. Open an account today. You should do the same. You never know. we're going to continue with the pagan readings because we'll finish that up today. But I want y'all to start thinking about a new form. It's not a new form of magic. In fact, it's one of the oldest forms of magic, visual magic. And we're going to check out some things into practicing some visual magic. Thank you, Belanca. Yeah, slap that like button. Hey, Nina the Mystic, how you doing? Folks, this book, I am just about to complete it. I'm going back and referencing points now. Not in his image, John Lash. I've had this in many, I guess, when the student is ready, the knowledge will make itself available, right? And I can't put the thing down. It's the type of knowledge that when you read it, you go, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I can connect the dots here now. And it's well worth it, folks. I just got to tell you, to call yourself a pagan is really a compliment. It is probably probably one of the highest, and you're going to fall in love. I'm going to bring reference to this, but with a remarkable woman. She was most likely in her mid 40s. Very attractive, very much knew who she was. She was what would call an open pagan. Um, her name was Hypatia, and Hypatia, well, her story is one that this is history. This is not myth. This is not knowing who wrote it, how it got written. We know who she was. She lived in Alexandria. And there was this emerging religion called Christianity, and a particular nasty sect that took it over called the Salvationist. And we're going to learn more about her. I think in many ways she represents, you know, the true goddess, wisdom. And this is how John opens up his book, and it grabs you right from the beginning because you begin to discover that we are living the full manifestation of this mind virus. That's the way I'm going to put it. I'm going to put it as a mind virus because that's the way it appears to be to me when you read it. And we're going to read small little snippets of it. So you really should read it. Should be in your library. I highly recommend this book. This is one we should do a group reading on. I know the Milky Way Soul Tribe over there do readings. Robert, I would recommend this one particularly. It has such deep gnosis that, yeah, even when you think you've been awoke, you're going, ah, damn it, I'm still in the dream a little bit. And you wake up again and you're going, okay. That's some tea. Wow. Hey, beloved abstract, what's happening? Dragon Soul Fox, how are you doing? Z? It's an eye opener. It is. I want to give a shout out to all those that are in the beauty industry. In other words, those who cut our hair, dye our hair, make us look good. I want to give a shout out to my dear friend Julie. Julie's been cutting my hair for, we figured out, about 13 years. And so, you get to know someone. Cutting hair is a very hands-on. I mean, you're laying on of hands. It's very intense energy. And this whole pandemic thing is just decimating that industry. And so I want to encourage everyone to, if you have a beautician, a stylist, someone who cuts your hair, pay them a visit. They need the help. And, you know, yeah, yeah. It's like, whoa. So anyway, Julie, love you, dear. And thank you, because it's always so much fun. Thank you, Z. Work hard on it. Ah, man. So, all right, tomorrow on A Second Look, got Julianne Payne. We're going to be talking about this event. No matter what, it is going to be the winter solstice on the 21st. But I think, in fact, we got it wrong on the 12th, 2012. Like I said, Hollywood did really great in hyping that up. And here comes 2020. Like it hasn't already been enough to distract us. I think this thing going into Aquarius, I don't know if it's going to be as smooth as we think it is. Coming out of Pisces, I don't know. We'll be talking more about it. So, hey, Grandpa Brian, how you doing? Hey, Spirit Woman Colorado. Jenny, good to see you. Can't wear Googles at the hair. Cutting myself or growing it out, getting long. I can dig that. I think there's a proverb that says that long hair is the beauty and the grace of a woman. So take it for what it's worth. Uh, that's all I say. All right. I want to finish this because the reading on this is, when you tie it into books like Not in His Image and The Forbidden Religion and the other great knowledge that we've uncovered here, um, you have to think about like this. The Dark Ages was issued in when Christianity took over the world. The world went into the Dark Ages and stayed that way for nearly 900 years. Um, the missing years, that even if you study eschatology, Bible history, um, you come up always with this gap. So what really happened from the first century, when the first year one, after the event, and here we are, we search, and it's very hard to find authenticated information on the history, particularly of these 300, 350 years. And there's a reason why there's a gap there, because that knowledge has been purposely removed from us and replaced with another knowledge. And the world became sick with this doctrine, this new knowledge. It was very dark, and it enslaved humanity. It enslaved our consciousness, and it drove us from who and whom we all knew and loved. Humans were only meant to have, if you want to use the word worship, with only one deity, and that's Gaia, Sophia. We were created for that. It's in us. And when that was taken away from us, the collectiveness of the human soul, we lost ourselves. We became lost. We became darkened. And as this virus progressed, it became more insidious in its effects. And today we look at the world and we're seeing the result of that. But one thing about it, don't piss off a goddess, particularly the goddess. It's not it's not nice. And hell hath no fury as a woman scorned. It's what I just got to tell you, man. If you're into the matriarchal thing, man. Mm-mm. So anyway, an amazing thing happened during these dark ages. There were moments of where light, gnosis, came forth, that which had been hidden, purposely taken away. I think at the all I know is I call them the caretakers. They are the beings responsible for all the knowledge, the true knowledge. And what we've seen in the last, particularly the last 100 years, more Gnostic knowledge, it's a play on words, I know, has been revealed than since the beginning of the Alexandrian library. And when they burned the library and subsequently raided the libraries in Constantinople, they took from us this knowledge, this understanding that we are directly connected to Earth, and we were never meant to worship a god, an off-world god, particularly a male one. Never. It was never supposed to be that way. And today, again, we are the generations that are living this out, but we're also the antivirus. Gaia knew what she was doing, and many of us are here not only for the rediscovery of this lost gnosis that we now have access to, but it's activating us as it's supposed to do. It is a transmutation that takes place in the consciousness of each person who finds this frequency, that finds this vibration. And we begin to match frequencies and vibration to it, not only to the knowledge, but to one another. And as we begin to understand this, and this is just lost knowledge, this is not new. There's nothing new age about this. There's nothing metaphysical about this. This is exactly the way nature intended it to be. But again, we got seduced, and we've paid dearly for that. And we're learning now. And we're learning that it's not that difficult for so many of us. It's intuitively understood. It resonates with us. We don't need a doctrine. We don't need a Bible. We don't need a dogma. What we just need is to come together and let the natural flow of what is in us manifest itself. And the first one is to get acknowledgement to Gaia, our mother, because she is our mother. None of us would be here if she wasn't first here, and we lost that. And as we begin to read about Hypatia, we're going to find out her generation was the last generation before the darkness came. And the darkness enshrouded the world, and we've paid a price for it since then. But there is the light of day coming back, not the light that we have been falsely told about, but in fact the true inner light, which is in each and every one of us. So there you go. Well, thank you, Carol. Yeah, it's really a fact. Paul Joe, that's right. Intuitive gnosis. Absolutely. That's what it's called. You know, that's what I so enjoy about having Amber and Jennifer and Nina and Steve and the rest of the empathic intuitives. We're finding that place. Yeah, David Barry, that's exact. Alan Watts, who is my mentor, David's as well. As he said, the earth grows people. And, I was meditating and there was some real ministering going on. There was some real healing because I began to see something that the search that within all of us is that we're all pagan. If that's what they're going to define this as, then it means basically earth dweller. Yeah, I know it means country folks, but if you get down into the root of the word, it means earth dweller. I can dig that. Yeah, I can dig that. I can see a whole different future in the next realm, a whole different understanding of what the metamorphosis process called death is all about. There is a deeper understanding of a deepness of a connection to a being that has virtually been forgotten about for nearly 2,000 years, deliberately eliminated from our knowledge. And she's responding, particularly to those who have found their way back to her. And oddly enough, so many of us have, in fact, found that path. Um, well, that's right. All righty. So I feel mighty fine today. There is, what's that song? Love is all around. Yeah, anyway. And it is. It is. All right. Let me get this going. I love this. And I sent out many of you the PDF, but this is just a cool book. Someone said, well, this is just the devil, satanic. And I wrote back and I said, wow, if this is what it means to harm nobody, I can hook up my wagon to that set of horses. It's far better than the what we got. Come to, give me 1 second here. There we go. Chapter 19. And you harm none. Do what you will. This is the first and last law that is given to the children. And these that follow help fulfill the law. Do not lay violent hands on another unless it is in self-defense or in the defense of another. Do not provoke another's wrath where consuming hatred or violence is drawn, causing one or the other to come into harm. How can you see darkness in that? Do not speak of the personal appearances and characteristics of others. These things are personal to them, and they have been chosen for reasons of karma. In the same way, we have all chosen physical and emotional situations to best suit our karmatic requirements. The tongue is sharp when left unbridled and can destroy as well as heal. This is James 1:6. The tongue is sharper than any two-edged sword. Mhm. Words are powerful elements that can create and destroy. Do not purposely speak falsely of another. All turn an ear to hear the voice which is soft and pleasant. Yet most all turn away from the loud voice and the harsh tongue. Do not seek to intentionally harm another or cause pain purposely by deed, word, or power. Should you come to harm by deeds or powers of another, or one purposely causes you pain, remember the law of karma. That which a person sends out shall return upon them. Whatsoever you sow, that shall you reap. That which you do to others shall be done to you. The law of karma is perfect and just. As a person standing before a mirror receives back their own reflection, so shall their deeds, words, and energies be reflected back to them. Until the children of light learn the karmic law, they shall burden themselves with pain. Chapter 20. Do not judge others by appearances, ways of life, color, preferences, or characteristics, for each individual is on their own karmic level and path. What is right for one may not be right for another. Each decides what is needed for an incarnation. Each person is the way they are for personal reasons and reasons of karma. You should not apply the situations of another to your own incarnation. Whoa. Mac, that's some heavy stuff, brother. Every individual will eventually experience all things. Feeling and situations which are important to you now may not have been experienced previously. Spiritual growth and enlightenment comes through the many different circumstances chosen by the individual. As it has been said, we say again, every individual will experience all things. Every experience and aspect of being, lesson learned, path taken, circumstances accepted and managed, all lead to the evolution of the children of the light. Therefore, will every soul expand in knowledge and wisdom, even to the door of enlightenment and perfection. Chapter 21. Live, love, experience. Embrace each day, each experience, knowing that in doing so, you are living towards a fulfillment. Even in hard times, when days seem tiresome and nights are too long, endure all things, knowing that each experience is a victory. And every experience is a victory in that each brings you closer to the next level on the karmatic wheel of birth, death, and rebirth. Be mindful of your actions, showing yourself approved for your present incarnational levels, never moving backwards on the karmatic wheel. I like that one. Showing yourself approved of your personal incarnational level. I wonder what that actually means. I mean, you think about the incarnational, that is describing almost, I would say, a synonym that would come to me would be a rank. It could be an organization. I think you can actually see it on this one. Incarnational level could easily come to fact that there's obviously multi-levels to this. But striving to move ever forward. I say this all the time. Never backwards, only forwards. But if you ever find yourself stumbling backwards, remember this. You've already laid the stones, so you don't have to pay for that twice. Chapter 22. To those who have wronged you, if you release those debts, they shall be forgiven them. If you retain the debts against them that have wronged you, they shall not be forgiven. Then must they seek to pay the debts, that their karma shall be made whole again. Can I just insert something here? The easiest thing to do, but yet is the almost for some impossible to achieve, is twofold: forgiveness. I have heard people say, well, I can forgive you, but I am never going to forget. That's a trap. It's a booby trap. And I'm going to help you, if you're in it, how to get out of it. There's only one thing and this is from my experience, and this is my perception. is to learn in this plane is forgiveness and to forget. Forget it. Because the day that you find that you can forgive and forget, guess what? The offense never happened. That's not to say to make yourself a doormat. No, it's not what's saying here. And what it's saying as well is that you as a God, you have the power to forgive or to inflict judgment. But remember, that which you do to others shall be done unto you. So if you cannot forgive and forget, you already know what's coming for you. Your next life. It's no mystery to it. That is the Steiger's golden nugget for today. Learn to forgive and forget. Because when the time comes and the scales are weighed, you just might want that feather. Chapter 23. Do not be partaker of another's debts. Do not associate your karma with the karma of those who are weighed with debt and have not turned towards the light. Woo! But try to keep your karma whole, that in time you shall attain karmatic purity. For only when we are karmatically pure may we move into the light. And you can add a different words to these. I mean, I see their words here, but excuse me, it's very easily to interchange karma with self-balance. Anyway, be as one with your spiritual mother and father. Only when we are karmatically pure can we break the seamless, endless cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. I'm all for that, man. I've had enough of it. I've gotten enough of a picture to see. I've done this before. And quite frankly, I'm tired of chasing my ass around in a circle, so to speak. Karmatically, metaphorically. Therefore, keep your eyes turned towards the light. Let every action, thought, and word be a blessing to you and a beacon to those you meet along the way. Hold fast to the faithful words of the mother and the father of all life. And you harm none, do what you will. Chapter 24. When two people meet and they find love, if they decide to become one, then they should go before a priest or priestess who will perform the hand-fasting ceremony. If anyone has insights on the hand-fastening ceremony, we exchange because of the planet that ruled us, Saturn, the ring. If you're married, you exchange the ring. But this is interesting. Now, need to look into it. And if anyone's got any information, just email. I'd like to know more about it. And these two shall become one. I have a feeling that it's much more spiritual than it is actually in all the material hoop-to-do that they do today for weddings. Yet will they remain individuals. And the priest or priestess shall write a license of hand fasting. And there shall be 3 copies, a copy, one for each of those who have come together for that ceremony, and a 3rd copy to be kept by the priest or priestess. And should 2 people meet and find love, if there is no temple or no priest or priestess to perform the ceremony, then shall these 2 perform a hand fastening ceremony together upon an altar to the light or to the god and goddesses. And there shall be written 3 licenses of hand fasting, one for each individuals who have come together in this union, and the other given to a friend who will hold it for safekeeping. And when these 2 come together, they shall not try to take the individuality away from the other. Although the two are one in this union of love, yet are they still two, each retaining their own individuality. Therefore, should they accept each other in love, and shall not seek to change the other. One should not pull one way and the other another way. Should there be disagreements, they should sit together and discuss them and come to an arrangement. Well, that doesn't seem so hard. Yeah, y'all been there, you know. So shall the two keep their individuality, remaining themselves and not becoming the other. And in this way, the two shall truly be one in love and life. And should these two be male and female, and to them children born, then shall they raise the children in love, patience, kindness, and understanding. And as a child grows, the parents shall allow that child to learn all the ways of all things, of all lifestyles. In this way, the child will be able to make a more informed decision when he or she is older. The parent should not force the child to believe in one way or the other, but shall allow the child to believe in those things which bring peace, love, and kindness to the heart and to the life, to the soul, and to the individuality of the child. Chapter 25. When two people who have loved and gone before a priest or priestess for the ceremony of hand fasting and have decided it would be best for them to part, they shall then shall they go before a priest or priestess for the ceremony of hand parting. And when these two go before the priest or priestess, they shall take with them, each of them, their copies of the hand fasting. And the priest or priestess shall sit in council with this couple to help them decide in a just way of parting of their possessions. And should this couple have children, then shall the priest or priestess sit in council with the couple and help them to manage the time and the seasons that each shall spend with the child. When the priest or priestess has decided that the couple has discussed all things and have made arrangements to the benefit of both partners and the children, should there be any children involved, then shall the priest or priestess take the copies of the hand fasting to the altar, and there 2 copies of the hand fasting shall be burnt upon the altar. And the ceremony of hand parting shall be performed by the priest or priestess. And the couple shall be hand parted, and they shall go their way friends, not enemies, companions in experiences well spent. And you could save thousands of dollars in marriage counseling. Just follow these rules. Yeah. And when these things have been done, the high priest or high priestess shall write a paper of hand parting and shall attach it to the priestly copy of the hand fasting, and these shall be kept within the order of the priesthood. Wow. I don't know. Does that just sound like a lot of good common sense? I mean, not that difficult. I mean, it really isn't. That's what I like about this book. I mean, it's like it's not that difficult, folks. Chapter 26. And all our people shall strive to obey the laws of the land, in each country and in each state. Everyone should try to obey the laws that have been set down. In this way, the people shall live in peace and harmony with those around them, and the law shall be to protect those who abide by the law. Therefore, all should raise their children to abide by the law, to respect the law, and when they are older, they shall not but part from these things which they have learned. Read that somewhere else. Chapter 27. The sons and daughters of the Mother Earth shall respect the Great Mother and the Holy Crone. Everyone shall do what is possible in their power to protect the Great Mother Earth, for it is she who gives us life. Therefore, should one of a species be in danger, you should do all that you can to save, to protect, to allow for regrowth of that species. When you sow seeds upon the earth for food, and it is time to bring in the harvest, do not take the entire harvest for yourselves, but leave some for the Mother Earth and for the other creatures, that they shall also partake of the bounty that the Mother Earth has given us so freely. And should you have to clear the land on which to build your homes, be careful not to take away that which you do not truly need to destroy. Leave that which is not a hindrance to you. And should you have to take more than you feel the Mother Earth can bear, then in the place of those things which you have taken, replant and give the earth back what has been taken from her. Do not poison the Mother Earth. In all ways, respect the Mother Earth and her trees and her waters and all her lands, for it is she who gives life. And her creatures shall enjoy a life and be able to fulfill the karma that is needed on their journeys. Again, we say, respect the Mother Earth and do not bring her to unnecessary harm. Wow. The UN could really learn some of this. It's like, hey, it's not that complicated. Chapter 28. And should the sons and daughters of earth need to kill for food, then they should only kill that which they can eat. Do not destroy life without cause. Do not take life unnecessarily. All are evolving towards perfection. And the sons and daughters of the earth shall not go out to hunt and kill for sport. For this is malicious hatred visited upon the creatures who live their lives and their karmas. And again, the sons and daughters of the earth shall not go out to hunt just for the sake of killing, unless the creature which is killed shall be eaten for food and nourishment. Those individual creatures which are killed and not eaten shall be those creatures which are killed in the defense of others, or those creatures which are a pest to the crops and destroy or take the food away from those who are in need of the food. And those creatures that can be killed are the creatures that may cause harm, and those creatures with sting and bite. I'm glad to read that because, you know, the United States has now been invaded by the giant hornet. I mean, yeah. Those creatures which destroy or cause illness. These creatures, if they happen upon your path, then you may destroy them. Good, because I am. Do not go out and seeking them in their private homes, where they are of no harm to others. Again, we say unto you, those creatures which you must destroy for food, destroy in a manner which will bring the least amount of pain, and then respect the bodies and do not allow an abomination of them. That's an interesting thought. I mean, okay. I find it interesting. I mean, you don't find this in no Bible. Chapter 29. Let each individual live according to the spirit of the life, proving itself by love, kindness, patience, and joy for life. It says joy of life, but I think you could easily say joy for life. A lot of people have no joy for life. They get up each day going, oh, crap. Instead of getting up and singing a song and whistling. My wife said, where did you learn to do that? I said, baby, it comes naturally. Give devotion daily to the light, our God and Goddess, and the lords and ladies, and be renewed by their spirits and powers. For we are the children of the light, and the spirits of our God and Goddess dwell within each of us. And they have given us the spirit of life and joy, of love and victory. How many of us out there, I'll just ask this question generically. How many of you have victory? Now, I've asked the question, how many of you have the joy for life, joy of life, and how many of you have victory? How many of you celebrate? Are you celebrating each day? You should. I mean, baby, you should be dancing a little jig and giving yourself a virtual high fives everywhere and celebrate. I mean, you're on your path, and each day is a victory. V for victory. And the promise of our spiritual mother and father, that they shall not lose one of their children, but all shall be victorious and return to the light from whence all have come. In that promise, we find love and peace. And in that promise is our strength and victory. Chapter 30. With the end of an incarnation, the individual who passes over to the other side will find the comforts of their group members awaiting them. Now that's cool, folks. With the end of a life, the individual who passes over will find awaiting him a party. Celebrate good times. Anyway, they're going to be waiting for us, people. Brian will be there, guarantee it. And after their initial greetings from the group, any loved ones, instructors that might come over to meet the individual who has passed on to the other side, then shall the individual go to the resting place of that group, and the individual shall sleep and rest. Isn't it interesting? We have, not just metaphorically or allegorically, we literally have, and this is, it's repleted in other documents and beliefs, there is sleep. The sleep that we sleep is only a representation of the sleep that we do sleep. Does that make Does that make sense? Yeah. Does that make sleep? Yeah, it does. Yeah. So you're going to go, you're going to sleep, you're going to have a beer, you're going to kick back on the beach. It's time just to recharge. And during this rest, the incarnational memories, pains, suffering, and desires, all of these shall be slept away. Now, in my vision, when I crossed over, I carried with me an opalescent color stone. And as I went into my dwelling place, I met what you could call the Creator, the All. And on my panel, I had many other stones, and there were slots in where there was no stone at all, which obviously, as I see it now, could be interpreted, well, those are future incarnations that I have yet to go. Anyway, and the group shall go with that soul that has passed over and meet with the instructors that they may learn of past incarnation, its experiences and lessons. And after the soul has learned that all that can be learned from the experiences and lessons of the last life, then may the group plan on the next incarnation of each member of that group. And therefore the cycle of life, birth, death, and rebirth can continue until all the souls have obtained perfection and may go into the light. Chapter 31. And the soul in an incarnation shall live, love, and experience to the end of its fulfillment. Every experience is a lesson learned. Every desire, moment of pain, all of this help fulfill the incarnational cycle. Therefore shall a soul enter into a new body and learn all that may be learned, except all of those things which have been planned and designed by the soul for further spiritual growth and for the fulfillment of the entire group's goal as a whole towards the attainment of perfection. We have pods. Many other writers have written about that. And apparently each pod, no pod member is left behind. In other words, the pod cannot obtain the perfection as the group if there is one who is lacking. The soul shall not take the life of that incarnation, but shall live to the end of the fulfillment. Those souls which take their own lives have learned nothing, and must take all of those things which are not accepted, emotions, pains, impatience, circumstances, unfulfilled desires, into the spiritual world to learn in a place of confinement away from one's group. Wow. That's interesting. I've read that so many times. What dreams may come, huh? And only until all of these things are learned may the soul be released to rejoin the group. For only after the soul has learned those lessons which must be learned and returned to the group can they continue on in their journey towards perfection. Again, we say, do not take your life, for it will only add to the lessons to be learned, experience to be experienced. But live the life to the end of its fulfillment, and the cycle shall be not interrupted. Chapter 32. The children of the earth, of the light, should be aware of the world around them, of the governments, of the laws governing their state. Everyone should become active and knowledgeable of the political system within their government. Wow. In this way, the government is more aware of its people and shall not take away their liberties and their freedoms. Well, who would have thought? Everyone shall respect and utilize the system. Everyone should become an active voter. Wow. I was not expecting that. Let not the government be ruled by one. The ruling government shall be made up of people from all walks of life. And in this way, ensure that all people within the government or living under the political system shall have justice and shall be counted among the citizens of that government. Wow. Who would have thought? Chapter 33. Okay. Upon age, the children of light have evolved in physical form from creature to creature. And that evolution has moved the children into higher forms throughout the ages, from the first spark to the present. The children of light have taken this form of man as a higher form of their evolving nature in their journey towards perfection and the light. And so shall it be until the end of the fulfillment of the light. And when it has come that the last spark, the last soul, has left the light on its journey, and each incarnation to the fulfillment of its evolution, then shall the evolving form on this plane of existence be likened unto those forms on the spiritual plane, until the forms are identical, having no opposites, but are balanced like unto like, spiritual and physical. Yet even this shall not be the end. For the light shall make a new creation, and all the souls who have throughout the eternity of those ages becoming perfect shall live again in the perfect creation of the light. Chapter 34. Even so, the children of the light shall not sit and wonder after those things, for the millennia shall be many before these things shall come to pass. Therefore shall the children of light think on those things of the present for their evolutionment to perfection, and for their next incarnation after the attainment of those things needed in this present incarnation. Something I had this week and was interesting. How many of us are planning our next incarnation here now? See, this is part of that gnosis that was taken away. We're much more powerful than what we give ourselves credit for. I mean, it's a terrible thing to step over to the other side when you haven't made any plans for the other side, much less for your next incarnation. What do you want to be next time? Do you want to be on this planet? Do you want to go to another planet? Do you want to go on the student loan program, exchange program, excuse me? Yeah. Therefore shall the children of the light think on those things of the present for their evolution into perfection. Okay. For this knowledge is given to the children of light, that they may know it, but not sit and wonder after it. For these are the secrets of the gods, and man shall not truly understand them until it is given to them by the gods. Shelah, so shall it be. And Shelah is a term that you find in the book of Psalms. It means basically, so shall it be, ponder upon this, meditate. For truly, when that time has come upon the earth and this plane of existence, that it shall merge, becoming one with the spiritual plane. Interesting. All souls will have evolved into a higher spiritual form, and even this plane shall be of a higher spiritual form. In other words, we're going to get new bodies. Then shall all know the time is upon them for the rebirth of every living thing. Shelah, so shall it be. We won't get through it all, but you can get the PDF. I think you can get the gist of it. Each chapter is another. Yeah, all right, let's get to it. Chapter 35. And the children of light shall work rites, RITES, folks, to attune themselves with the rhythms of life forces, which are marked by the phases of the moon and the seasonal times and cross times. The children of light shall believe in the creative forces, which are called the light. That the light is dual, both male and female, God and goddess, father and mother. The children of the light shall study to understand the outer world and the inner world, the physical world and the spiritual world. There shall not be one leader only for doctrines and religions, but there shall be leaders of teachers and councils and students. Everyone is growing, expanding, and journeying towards the light. No one is greater than the other. The children of the light shall live to the fulfillment of life in the continuation of evolution as they journey towards perfection, where they may enter into the light and once again become one with the mother and the father of all life. The children of light shall not teach their children of the existence of absolute evil, nor fill their minds with tormenting fear, which shall grow with them into adulthood. Be the parents of the children, but the parents of the children shall teach the children wisely, filling them with love of the light, love of God and goddess, mother and father. The children of the light shall seek within themselves and within those around them, should seek in nature that which will help in their growth and development and in their health and well-being. Chapter 36. The Master Council has chosen individuals, grouping them together, and a group may be as few as 5, as many as 30. And within each group shall be subgroups. There may be as few as 2 in a subgroup, or as many as 10 individuals. And these groups shall journey together through birth, death, and rebirth, supporting one another. And the members of the subgroups shall be helpmates on the journey to perfection. Groups may come together and become associated group members, one to another, and in this way lend wisdom and assistance to its associate group. For the light, our creators have said, it is not good that an individual should go out alone on the journey to perfection. Therefore shall we send out groups of individuals to be support and help one for another. And the souls in the group shall remain together, level by level, on the journey to perfection. Should one individual fall by the way, not seeking karmic purity or the light, the remaining group members shall remain at that level until the one returns to the path to perfection, the way of the light. Chapter 37. No individual is higher or better than others. For while in the body, each individual is subject to karmic debt and imperfection. No individual shall be esteemed more than others, for each is on a different level, working towards perfect divinity, each subject to the same karmic laws as the others who are incarnated. Chapter 38. From the light came every soul that exists, each being a child of light, created by the light. And the light, our creators, chose well, deciding which souls shall be grouped together, grouped and subgrouped, each group having its age and times to leave the light to begin its journey towards perfection. And each soul is a spark of the light, each soul being one part of the whole. As the souls leave the light, they carry away with them into the journey the very essence, the very being of the light. Therefore, is the light divided into many, as each soul strives towards that one goal to experience all things leveled upon level until perfect divinity is achieved. Even so, the light is divided into many, yet it is still one. For the creators in the beginning spoke the words and said, they shall all return, for we shall not lose one. Therefore shall we place within them a part of us. And the light spoke, they carrying with them parts of our being. Therefore from this time shall we not again be complete until they have returned to us. And the words they spoke were the same authority, powers, and intensity with which they used to create the universe and all things. Chapter 39. As it has been said, all things within creation are living and have spirits. And as all things are living, so it follows that all things are vibrational. Everything has its own vibration, those things which are visible and those things which are invisible, the animate and the inanimate, spiritual and physical. Let it be known that upon the physical plane, the vibrations are slow, but upon the spiritual plane, the vibrations are higher and faster. The higher and faster a vibration, the more invisible it becomes until the vibration is so high that it can neither be seen nor touched. Such is the ritual of the ancient priest, who took the cord and placed upon it a knot of metal at one end, then swinging it above their heads faster and faster until the cord became almost invisible. And with this cord swinging faster about the head of the priest or priestess, the group about would say the prayers. And so it was believed that the prayers rising through the swinging cord would be swept up in the swift vibrations and carried swiftly to the realm of the Lord and ladies. This is true. The spiritual realm has the higher vibration. The physical realm has a slower vibration. And below that is even a slower vibration in the realm which was created by the malicious spirits for themselves. A place of lower vibrations in accord with the lower, malicious, mundane entities that dwell within that realm. And the realm of the malicious dwell deep within the planet, the suns and the stars at the very centers of each, with their vibrations so low, concentrated, compacted, and imperceptible. Wow. Okay. It looks like I'm going to go a little bit over. I'll finish chapter 40. I mean, wow. When the children of light, dwelling within physical bodies, wish to bring changes about in accordance with their will, they must move upon the vibrational levels, changing their own psychic vibrations to match those of the spiritual in order to create changes. And in all things, whatever you do seeking to control situations or circumstances, creating, reversing, or bringing about change in accordance with one's will, remember to work with the natural laws and not against them, with the laws of light and not against them. And in doing so, you shall not bring about a debt or cause a thing to happen which you will later regret. And when one has worked the work to bring about the changes, it must be remembered that all thought forms are vibrations. Vibrations of negativity, vibrations of positive, sent out in the forms of thoughts, shall work with one's power, shall join with the work that has been done beforehand. Whoa. Remember to keep one thought form in a positive light, sending out positive vibrations to continue the work that has been done. Just as the words spoken can create or destroy, bring about health or sickness, so are the thought forms sent out from the children of light. Chapter 41. Except an individual be born, reborn, and again reborn, until the soul is perfected, it may not enter into the light of lights. Do not be as the lost ones, the malicious individuals who have forgotten the goal of life. They who wandered the spiritual realms, not being reborn. They who seek to cause confusion and fear and perform deeds of mischief and malice with wicked ones on the physical planes. Do you notice that's plural? Planes? Oh, yeah. These are paths of wasted experiences and time for the individual and for the group attached to them. And when their wanderings are finished, and they again return to the path that leads to perfection, they shall know sorrow within themselves, that they have detained the groups and subgroups attached to them. Wow. Therefore, live by the law of light, harming none, and should harm come to another by your actions or words, pay those debts as soon as possible. In this way, the group shall excel in the path of life, being reborn, and when times are finished. The group shall enter the light of lights, joyful together to receive the rewards of perfected divinity. Here receive the blessings of the ancient ones. May your life and your lives to come be in the service of the light, our creators, the mothers and the fathers of all life. Well, there you go. There are, about another, I'd estimate another 5 or 6 pages of this, but you can get it. Wow. Okay. It's a lot to think about there. I mean, we all know the vibration. We know that. If this group knows it better than anyone else. And man, we got to get our vibrations together here. I'm convinced, and I'd like to know what your thoughts are. See a lot in the chat room. How many of you think we're all a part of groups and subgroups? I think there are many of us here. We're here. We've never met each other physically yet, but we are directly associated with the same group. It would seem almost that this group is a part of many other groups. It's amazing. Thank you, Deborah. Yeah, there's a lot here. It's like, got to go back and think. And there's, like I said, there's only like 5 or 6 more chapters. And if you really want it, we'll get it there. Gilbert, thank you. Hey, Tina Bop, how you doing there, dear? Yeah. Holy crap. I mean, come on. This is, Trina had a thing happen, and I'm going to let her talk about it tomorrow. Folks, this group, and it's just not hyperbole. I'm not blowing sunshine up your skirt here. This is solid. This group has got a lot of psychic connections. I mean, I've experienced it with others. Others have experienced it. David Castle had an amazing thing. He knew when I was there a couple of weeks ago. I mean, David Barry and I, it's just, yeah. Hey, Laura, how you doing? Aloha. Yeah, I'm convinced of it. Okay. Well, we're going to have a fun time tomorrow. Julianne Payne will be getting on. I think it will be like 10 o'clock for her, I think. So it won't be like 4 o'clock in the morning. All right, folks. Wow. Amazing stuff here. There's just some amazing stuff. And we got other stuff behind this that keeps on. And as we continue, we're going to get back to the lost books of Eden. This is how we beat this thing. This is how we reverse it. I mean, we could come in as a juggernaut, vibrating on a level that just obliterates anything before us. That's, it's how it works. We could all become a bunch of powerful, how should we say, gods? Little g, that's what we are. Wow, this is where the power structures get real nervous, going, oh man, they're learning this stuff. They're actually learning it. And then they're applying it as a group. I mean, that ain't supposed to happen. All right, folks. Much love to you. Have a great rest of the day. I will see you tomorrow, and be favorable to yourself and to others. And let's get this vibration thing going. It's where we start practicing our group experiments, and I haven't forgotten about it. It's just sometimes we need a little bit more ammunition, a little bit more knowledge, a little bit more foundational. Years and years ago in my youth, I worked for a concrete contractor, and we did basements. And one of the things that when you had to carry down these simplex forms, each one of them weighed 110 pounds. And the thing about it is, you could set the form, right? But that wasn't the foundation. That was just part of it. You had to have the footing, and then the foundation, and then you had to have the rebarb steel in it in order to hold the foundation tight. That's what we're doing. Didn't you just love that? Anyway, them damn things, true story, I still have marks on my arms where once you had all the rebarb and all the steel in there, you had these connectors. And so when the concrete had set up, cured, you went in with this little device and you would snap off these steel holders that had little loops on them. But when you snapped them off, it left a razor sharp point. And when you're down there in these getting these simplex forms on, you're down in a hole. And inevitably, you're going, I mean, yeah, anyway, I digress, folks. Okay. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Love to all of you. Love everyone.